Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Bill Clinton, a comprehensive biography. Early life and education. William Jefferson. Bill Clinton was born on August 19, 1946, in Hope, Arkansas. Raised primarily by his mother, Virginia Kelley, and his stepfather, Roger Clinton Sr., he grew up in a modest household marked by both hardship and resilience. Clinton excelled academically and developed an early interest in public service. A gifted student, he attended Georgetown University, where he began to solidify his interest in politics and international affairs. Afterward, he received a prestigious Rhodes Scholarship to attend Oxford University, and later earned a law degree from Yale Law School, where he met his future wife, Hillary Rodham. Rise in Arkansas politics. Clinton returned to Arkansas after law school and quickly entered public life. In 1976, he was elected Attorney General of Arkansas, and 2 years later, at the age of 32, he became one of the youngest governors in U.S. history. Though he lost re-election in 1980, he returned to win the governorship again in 1982 and held the office until 1992. His tenure as governor was marked by education reforms, infrastructure development, and economic initiatives aimed at modernizing the state. Presidency, 1993 to 2001. Bill Clinton was elected the 42nd President of the United States in 1992, defeating incumbent George H.W. Bush. His presidency centered on economic revival, social policy reform, and global engagement. Key achievements: economic growth. Under Clinton, the U.S. experienced strong economic expansion, budget surpluses, and significant job creation. Welfare reform. He signed the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act in 1996, reshaping the welfare system. NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, was approved, promoting trade between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Crime Bill. He signed the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act, which increased funding for law enforcement and introduced new policies aimed at reducing crime. Foreign policy. Clinton oversaw several major international events, including peace efforts in the Middle East, NATO intervention in the Balkans, expansion of NATO membership, diplomatic engagement with emerging global markets. Controversies. Clinton's presidency was also shaped by political turmoil and personal scandal. The most significant was the Monica Lewinsky affair, which led to his impeachment by the U.S. House of Representatives in 1998 on charges of perjury and obstruction of justice. He was acquitted by the Senate and completed his term with high approval ratings. Post-presidency. After leaving office in 2001, Bill Clinton remained highly active in global humanitarian and diplomatic work. He founded the Clinton Foundation, focusing on public health, climate initiatives, economic empowerment, and global development. Clinton has also played roles in disaster relief efforts, global health partnerships, especially in HIV/AIDS treatment, international diplomacy through the Clinton Global Initiative. His partnership with Hillary Clinton, who served as U.S. Senator, Secretary of State, and Democratic presidential nominee, has continued to shape his public role. Legacy. Bill Clinton's legacy is complex and multifaceted. He is remembered for presiding over a period of economic prosperity and global diplomacy, but also for political polarization and personal scandal. His influence on Democratic Party politics, domestic policy, and global humanitarian efforts remains significant. He continues to be a prominent figure in American political and social life, valued for his intellect, charisma, and public service. Bill Clinton. Expanded biography and legacy. Early life, family background, and formative influences. Bill Clinton was born William Jefferson Blythe III in Hope, Arkansas. His father died in a car accident before he was born, and he took the surname Clinton after his mother remarried. His childhood was marked by economic challenges and a turbulent household. But Clinton distinguished himself early through his leadership qualities, ambition, and academic strengths. A turning point in his youth came in 1963 when he visited the White House as a member of Boys Nation and famously shook hands with President John F. Kennedy. This moment deeply inspired his belief in public service. Clinton later reflected that this singular interaction with Kennedy solidified his desire to enter politics. Academic career and early professional path. Clinton's academic journey was international and prestigious. Georgetown University. He studied international affairs and worked as an intern for Senator J. William Fulbright, which exposed him to global politics and debates about U.S. foreign policy during the Vietnam War. Rhodes Scholar at Oxford. His studies in philosophy, politics, and economics broadened his intellectual worldview and helped him develop diplomatic skills. Yale Law School. Here, he not only earned his law degree but also met Hillary Rodham. The two began a political partnership that would become one of the most influential in modern American history. Clinton briefly taught law at the University of Arkansas before formally entering politics. Career in Arkansas and the path to national prominence. Clinton's governorship in Arkansas spanned over a decade and showcased his ability to adapt and reform. During his first term as governor, he implemented progressive policies, but his rapid changes, such as reforms related to driver's license fees, led to public dissatisfaction and his defeat in 1980. His comeback in 1982 demonstrated his resilience and political skill. His major achievements as governor included overhauling the state education system, increasing teacher standards and salaries, improving infrastructure and economic development programs, strengthening child welfare and social services. These accomplishments helped cement his reputation as a New Democrat, someone who combined traditional democratic values with centrist, pro-growth approaches. Road to the White House. 1992 campaign. Clinton's 1992 presidential campaign emphasized generational change, moderate policies, and economic renewal. Running against incumbent President George H.W. Bush, Clinton focused on the struggling U.S. economy, framing the campaign around the now famous phrase, "It's the economy, stupid." He selected Senator Al Gore as his running mate, forming a youthful ticket that energized the Democratic Party. Clinton won with strong support from middle-class voters, minorities, and younger Americans, becoming the first Democrat to win the presidency since Jimmy Carter in 1976. Domestic policies and transformative reforms. During Clinton's 2 terms, the United States experienced the longest peacetime economic expansion in modern history. Record job creation, declining unemployment, a transition from budget deficits to federal surpluses. Major domestic policy initiatives included healthcare reform attempts. Hillary Clinton led an ambitious but ultimately unsuccessful effort to implement universal healthcare. Despite its failure, it paved the way for future reforms. Welfare reform. The 1996 Welfare Reform Act replaced long-standing federal programs with stricter work requirements and time limits, transforming the social safety net. Balanced budget efforts. Clinton worked with a Republican-controlled Congress to achieve balanced budgets in the late 1990s. Crime policy. The 1994 crime bill funded police expansion, crime prevention programs, and anti-violence initiatives, though it remains controversial due to its impact on incarceration rates. Foreign policy leadership. Clinton's foreign policy legacy is deeply connected to post-Cold War geopolitics. Key areas include NATO expansion. Clinton supported admitting Eastern European nations, reshaping the alliance after the fall of the Soviet Union. Balkan conflicts. He authorized NATO intervention in Bosnia and Kosovo to stop ethnic cleansing and widespread violence. Middle East peace efforts. Clinton invested heavily in Israeli-Palestinian negotiations, hosting the Oslo Accords and the 2000 Camp David Summit. Relations with China. His administration normalized trade relations with China, contributing to its economic rise. Africa and global health. He increased U.S. engagement with African nations and supported anti-HIV/AIDS initiatives. Scandals, investigations, and impeachment. Clinton's presidency was overshadowed by a series of investigations, most notably the Monica Lewinsky scandal. Accused of lying under oath about a personal relationship, Clinton faced impeachment by the House of Representatives in 1998. The Senate acquitted him in 1999, allowing him to remain in office. Despite the controversy, Clinton left the presidency with high approval ratings, reflecting strong economic conditions and ongoing public support. Post-presidency and global influence. Bill Clinton's post-presidency has been marked by extensive humanitarian work, diplomacy, and public engagement. Through the Clinton Foundation and Clinton Global Initiative, he has focused on global health programs, anti-poverty initiatives, climate change action, disaster relief, including efforts after Hurricane Katrina and the Haiti earthquake. Clinton also collaborated with former political rival George H.W. Bush on disaster relief efforts. An example of bipartisan cooperation. He remains a sought-after speaker, author, and political strategist. Personal life. Bill Clinton married Hillary Rodham in 1975. Their daughter, Chelsea Clinton, has since become involved in philanthropy and public health work. The Clintons' marriage and political partnership have been central to both of their careers and remain a subject of public fascination and media focus. Legacy and historical perspective. Bill Clinton's legacy is a blend of major achievements, political resilience, controversy, and influence. Historians and political analysts often note his ability to communicate effectively and inspire confidence, his role in reshaping the Democratic Party toward centrist policies, his part in transforming the U.S. economy in the 1990s, the lasting impact of his foundation's global initiatives, the enduring debates over his scandals and impeachment. Clinton remains one of the most complex and studied figures in modern American political history. Bill Clinton. An expanded and in-depth biography, a deeper look at Clinton's early personal influences. Bill Clinton's childhood was shaped by themes of opportunity, hardship, and determination. Growing up in a working-class Arkansas family, he witnessed both the possibilities and limits of the American dream. His stepfather struggled with alcoholism and episodes of domestic violence, experiences that deeply affected Clinton's later emphasis on social mobility, education, and community support. Clinton's love for music, he was an accomplished saxophone player, also shaped his public persona. His performance on popular media platforms, such as playing saxophone on television, helped him cultivate a relatable, youthful image during his political rise. University years and political awakening at Georgetown University's School of Foreign Service. Clinton observed major shifts in U.S. politics, the civil rights movement, the Vietnam War, Cold War tensions. His work with Senator J. William Fulbright, a prominent critic of the Vietnam War, exposed Clinton to complex foreign policy dilemmas and honed his diplomatic instincts. Oxford and the Rhodes Scholarship at Oxford. Clinton broadened his worldview by engaging with international scholars studying political theory, gaining insight into European social democracies. These experiences contributed to his eventual third way political ideology. A centrist balance between progressive aims and market-driven policies. Rise to national visibility before the presidency throughout the 1980s. Clinton emerged as one of the Democratic Party's rising stars. His compelling speeches at Democratic national conventions showcased his intellect, charisma, and communication abilities. Despite initially receiving criticism for lengthy speeches, he demonstrated extraordinary resilience and adaptability. By the late 1980s, many party leaders saw him as the figure most capable of modernizing the Democratic Party for a post-Reagan political landscape. 1992 election. A transformational campaign. Clinton's 1992 presidential campaign challenged traditional political norms. He emphasized middle-class struggles connected personally with voters, adopted a pragmatic and optimistic message. Ross Perot's independent candidacy complicated the race. But ultimately Clinton's strategy of appealing to both moderate Democrats and disaffected Republicans proved successful. His victory marked the arrival of a new generation of political leadership. Presidency. Major themes and transformations. Economic philosophy. The new economy. Presidency. Clinton's economic strategy combined free trade expansion, fiscal discipline, investments in education and technology. The 1990s saw dramatic growth in internet and tech sectors, homeownership, stock markets, venture capital investment. Clinton often described this period as an era of opportunity and responsibility, a guiding principle of his administration. Social and cultural policies. LGBTQ+ issues. Clinton's presidency took place during a transitional era in LGBTQ+ rights. Policies such as Don't Ask, Don't Tell attempted compromise but remain controversial. However, he later became one of the most outspoken supporters of LGBTQ+ equality in his post-presidency. Women's rights. Clinton supported the Violence Against Women Act, 1994, expanded roles for women in government, increased workplace protections. Hillary Clinton's advocacy further amplified these initiatives. Foreign policy in greater detail. Balkans and humanitarian intervention. Clinton's decision to intervene in Bosnia and Kosovo became defining examples of NATO-led humanitarian action. These actions helped prevent further ethnic cleansing and shape the modern doctrine of humanitarian intervention. Middle East diplomacy. Clinton invested extraordinary effort into peace negotiations. The Oslo Accords, 1993, the Jordan-Israel Peace Treaty, 1994, the 2000 Camp David Summit. Although a final Israeli-Palestinian agreement remained elusive, his role in the process influenced Middle East diplomacy for decades. U.S.-China relations. Clinton oversaw China's entry into major international markets and supported normalized trade relations. This decision has since been debated widely due to China's rapid global rise. Africa. Engagement and regrets. Clinton expanded U.S.-Africa relations but later expressed deep regret that his administration did not intervene during the Rwandan genocide, calling it one of his greatest failures. Scandals and political combat. Bill Clinton's presidency involved unprecedented political conflict. Investigations into the Whitewater real estate controversy eventually expanded into inquiries about his personal conduct. The public and political reaction to the Lewinsky scandal became a defining moment in American culture. Clinton's impeachment trial intensified partisanship and reshaped the American political landscape. Yet, despite the turmoil, his approval ratings remained high, highlighting the contrast between public sentiment and political confrontation. Post-presidency. Humanitarian leadership and influence. The Clinton Foundation, founded in 2001, the Clinton Foundation has achieved major global impacts. Lowering HIV/AIDS medication costs, supporting climate change action, improving global health systems, supporting entrepreneurs in developing nations. The Clinton Global Initiative, CGI, brought together world leaders, philanthropists, and innovators to develop solutions for global challenges. Partnership with other former presidents. Clinton collaborated with George H.W. Bush on tsunami and hurricane relief, Jimmy Carter and other global leaders on health programs. His willingness to work across ideological lines strengthened his reputation as a global statesman. Role in Hillary Clinton's political career. Clinton became a key advisor during Hillary Clinton's Senate career. 2008 presidential campaign tenure as Secretary of State. 2016 presidential campaign. Their partnership remains one of the most influential in modern political history. Long-term historical legacy. Historians often evaluate Clinton's legacy in several interconnected dimensions. Strengths: stewardship of economic expansion, global.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.